Hello, my friend. Welcome to Radiant Resilience. This video, I'm going to take you through a fairly intense release of the calves, followed by a decompression in the knee, activation of your quads, and then stretching your calves out. So the reason I'm taking you through this little series is one, when we release our calves, it's good for our foot health. Calf tightness is a big factor in plantar fasciitis because it shares the whole fascial plane up the back of the body. It's also helpful for our ankle mobility, which is great for everything, especially our stride when we're walking. Releasing tightness and fascia in the calves is also helpful for circulation as well as the flow of lymphatics in your legs. And this is also good for our knee health. So if we have really tight calves, it'll affect our knees. It makes it so that maybe we can't straighten the knees all the way, or we have different compensatory patterns because of that tight calf thing. And then it's the decompression of the knee is just helpful to release and open up some space in the knee. And then we're going to engage or activate our quads, which is a big muscle group that's helpful to have strong for our knee health. So this is kind of what we're doing will be affecting lots of different things. Now, this first part isn't necessarily something that's going to work for everybody. So if it doesn't work, if it doesn't feel good on your body, of course, you're going to skip it. And I have some other videos where you can release your calves with a tennis ball. I'll put a little link up there for you. Okay, now what you're gonna need is a dowel. This is just a mop handle. I wouldn't say go any thicker than this. You could go a little bit narrower if you'd like to start out. If you don't have that, something you could use instead is a rolled up towel. This is a little bit thick, so you might want to use like more of a hand towel so it's not quite as thick, but that's an option. And then you're going to want something that's fairly thick. This is a bigger towel so that you have some thickness. And then also a ball. So I have a tennis ball here. That's kind of pretty intense. I also have one of the wool felted dryer balls. It has a little more give to it. And then I have a kind of one of those playground balls, but it's a little bit soft. And that's a little bit of a easier option. So lots of options, and you can just kind of make do with what you have at home. All right, so the first part is going to use the dowel. Now, this is the part that may not work for everybody because you do need to be able to sit back on your heels. And what you're going to do is come into this position and pull the dowel in as close into your knee crease as you can get. And then from there, you're just going to sit back. Now this can be pretty intense. It's going to get a little more intense as we work down the calf into that bigger part of the muscle. But what you're going to try to do is relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, and take a great big sigh. Okay, we don't have to stay there very long, so we're going to come down a little lower, sit down. Now, as I mentioned, as you get more into the meatier part of the calf, it can feel a little more intense. So I can feel myself wanting to get a little bit tense, so try to relax everything that you can as you sigh. Okay, and then come up, go a little lower on the calf, sit back. See if you are maybe tensing up your glutes or something else to try to avoid the intensity of what's going on with your calves, and then sigh. And then go a little bit lower. So we're just working down the calf. We're going to stop at the bottom of the muscle rather than going all the way down into where it's just your Achilles. A sigh here. Okay, and then last one. I'm at the bottom of the muscle, but just above where it's just your Achilles. And this one's not quite as intense. Yay. And take a great big sigh. Okay, that's it for the torture. So we're going to come off of the dowel, and now we're going to do that little bit of knee decompression. So you could use a rolled towel like this, if you don't have a ball handy, or you can use a ball. So not everybody is going to have enough knee flexion to really pull the heel in towards your hip. If your knee doesn't like to bend that much, you're going to want something a little bigger behind the knee. So that's when a bigger ball or a bigger rolled towel can be helpful. But you're just going to take whatever it is that you're using right up into the crease of your knee, and then bring your heel towards your hip. And you can also do this lying down if seated isn't feeling good for you. The tennis ball is a little intense because it's hard, and I can feel it even pushing into my calf and hamstrings here. So that's just another release. I'll just take a couple more breaths right here. So we're just decompressing into the joint itself, bringing a little space there. Now, if you've had any sort of knee surgery or knee replacement, I would check with your doctor before you do this just to make sure that you have the okay for it. All right. Oh, and then I'm just gonna hold here, take a few deep breaths. And you don't want to yank so hard that this is so intense, but you just want to feel a gentle opening in the knee. Okay, so that's it for that part. Now we're going to do the activation of the quads. You can use a rolled up blanket or towel. You want enough height here so that your knee is a little bit bent, and then you're going to be pushing down. I'm going to do it with this ball. It has a little more give, and I think you can see what's going on with my leg a little better. So lean back so that your low back is comfortable. You don't feel like you're rounding forward. You can have a nice long spine. And then the ball or the towel is going to go directly under your knee joint. Foot is flexed, heel is on the floor, toes pointing straight up. We're going to be changing the angle of the leg in just a moment, but right now you're going to start with your toes pointing straight up. And then breathe in, and as you exhale, push the back of the knee down into whatever is underneath it towards the floor. And then inhale, release. Exhale, press down. So it's like you're trying to squish whatever is underneath your knee towards the floor. Release, and one more time, push down and release. Now we're going to turn our toes slightly in, thigh goes slightly in. So we have a little internal rotation of the leg. Breathe in, and as you exhale, press down. So the first one, we were doing the main line of our quads, down the center, push down and release. Now we're working the outer quad a little more, push down and release. Now we're going to do the opposite. Toes turn out a little bit, thigh turns out a little bit. Breathe in, exhale, press down. Now we're working the inner quad, release. So we're working the whole quad, the whole four muscles, but with the change, one more time, push down. As you change the angle of your leg, you're focusing a little more on one part than the others. And release. Okay, we're going to do the other leg. I'm just going to turn so you can see better. And we'll start right under the knee. Flex the foot, toes pointing up. Breathe in, as you exhale, push down. And you can see that your thigh muscle is engaging. Release. Push down. Release. One more time. Press down. And release. Okay, now we're going to turn the toes and thigh in a little bit. So we're working the outer quad. Press down. Let go. Down. Let go. And down. And release. Now turn toes slightly out, thigh slightly out. Breathe in, exhale, press. So you can even see that muscle kind of bulge as you release. That's just kind of above and slightly in from the knee. And release. Last one. Press. And release. Good. Then we're going to release, set all that down, and come up into table. So we did some fascial release work. We decompressed the knee. We activated the quads. Now we're going to stretch out our calves. Okay, so we're going to just tuck your toes under, push back through your heel. And then release that side, and we'll do the other side. Okay, and that's it. That little sequence, hopefully you'll feel a little better in the way maybe your feet, your ankles, your calves, or your knees are feeling. And you might find that when you're walking, you just have an easier stride now as well. Hit the like button if you found this helpful, and let me know if you have any questions or things you'd like me to cover in future videos. And don't forget to subscribe to Radiant Resilience if you'd like to be notified when I release new videos. Thank you. I appreciate your time, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.